Very good morning, cadets. We are in chapter number 1. What is the name of chapter number 1? That is Equality in Indian Democracy. So we already completed the topics like the voting system, the universal adult franchise system. We studied the storyboard of Kantabai and how a different role played by her. The storyboard we have studied, and there are a lot of inequality still exists in Indian society. That is what we studied here in the matrimonial alliance. And very heart-touching story we studied about Om Prakash Valmiki. How Om Prakash Valmiki, how he was exploited by the school and others when he was very young kid. Then we also studied about the story, we read about the story of Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Ansari. How Mrs. and Mrs. Ansari, they were all responsible for when they were out for searching a home. They couldn't get a home because of their surname, because many landlords or the house owners they rejected, saying that we are not ready to give house to non-vegetarians, those who cook and eat non-vegetarian. So in these two cases, what is violated here? That is nothing but dignity. So cadets, please try to understand what is violated in the case of Om Prakash Valmiki and Mr. and Mrs. Ansari is nothing but dignity of human being that is violated, because every person, irrespective of his caste, creed, wealth, color, gender, education, he should be given the status, because we should respect human being. That is very, very important. Not only human being, we should respect everyone. Okay, today let us move further in the topic that is related to equality in Indian democracy. The Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal. This means that every individual in the country, including male and female persons from all caste, religion, tribes, education and economic backgrounds, are recognized as equal. So what is the meaning of equality here? Please write down the meaning of equality. Equality means treating everyone equal before law. When we treat everyone equal before law, we are not considering like the factors like caste, religion, tribe, education qualification, economic background, etc. It doesn't, but at least in a democratic India, the principle of equality of all persons is recognized, while earlier no law existed to protect people from discrimination and ill treatment. Now there are several that works to see that people are treated with dignity as equals. During the British period, no such laws were existed to protect Indians from ill treatment or discrimination. At least at present we have enough laws which protects Dalits, Adivasis or the lower caste people from the exploitation. The Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act, regarding this in detail you are going to study in class 8th. That is Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention from Atrocities Act. So this act protects Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe from the discrimination and ill treatment from the so-called upper caste. This recognition of equality includes some of the following provisions of the Constitution. Cadets, please write down the point. First, what is the first point here? Point number 1, that is every person is equal before the law. Please write down the point. What is the first provision of equality? The first provision of equality is every person is treated equal before law. What this means that every person from the president of the country to Kanta, she a domestic worker, has to obey the same laws. So every person in this country is treated equal before the law. You may recently come across the news that several film actors or the top politicians, they were arrested because of various allegations on them. So even though someone is rich or someone has having lot of money or power, but in front of law he or she is treated equal. That is the meaning of equality before law. Point number one. What is point number one? Point number one is nothing but every person is treated equal before law. Please write down the second point. What is the second point? Point number two is no person can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, race, caste, place of birth, or whether they are male or female. Now, when government is providing facility, government cannot discriminate, or government cannot decide that this facility goes to only to the upper caste, lower caste, barring the issue of reservation, because reservation is implemented in the Indian Constitution under the principle of directive principles of state policy. So government should not discriminate people on the basis of religion, race, caste, place of birth, or gender, that is male or female. So what is the point number one? Point number is treatment, equal treatment before the law. What is the point number two? No discrimination against on the basis of religion, race, caste, place of birth. Third, every person has an access to public places, including playground, hotels, shops and markets. So every person can freely access public places like public park, hotels, shops, restaurants, garden. It is open for all if that is maintained by the government. Now take for example civil hospital in Bijapur. Civil hospital cannot say only upper caste or the lower caste or the rich should visit civil hospital. It is open for all. Because why it is open for all? It's a government, it's a public property. KSRTC buses, anyone and everyone can travel in KSRTC bus because it's a public transport system. Hotel is a public place. Shops, markets. So no person can be discriminated or barred from the entry from all the above mentioned public place. So we studied three. Please write down the first one. What is the first one? That is, first one is nothing but every person is treated equal before the law. So the first one, what is the first one? Every person is treated equal before the law. This is a point number one. What is the point number two? Point number two, no person can be discriminated against on the basis of religion, race, caste, place of birth, or whether male or female. So this is the point number two. Gladys, please write down. What is the point number three? Point number three, no person every person has an access to public places. What are the public places? Playgrounds, hotels, shops and markets. So we studied three kinds of equality. What are the three kinds of equality? The first one is equality before law. The second one is no person can be discriminated against on the basis of religion. What is the third one? Every person is free to access the public places. So playgrounds, hotels, shops and markets. All persons can use publicly available wells, roads, bathing ghats. And what is the fourth one? Okay, what is the fourth one? Fourth one is abolition of untouchability. The fourth one is abolition of untouchability. There was a practice in India in the past that lower caste people, they were suffering from the ill treatment from upper caste. So according to right to equality, practicing of untouchability is a punishable offense. So in India, untouchability is abolished. So we studied four types of equality. The first one is equality before law. Second one is no discrimination based on the caste, religion, gender, wealth, economic background. What is the third one which we studied? That is every person can access the public places like public wells, hotels, shops, markets, playgrounds, etc. What is the fourth one? Fourth one is untouchability has been abolished. Okay. In two ways in which the government has tried to implement equality that is guaranteed in the constitution. The first through the laws and second through the government programs. So just mentioning about certain steps won't solve the problem. Then how government try to implement equality? There are two ways in which government try to implement equality. What is the first one? First one is by passing law. For example, abolition of untouchability is a passing of a law. If someone is discriminating on the basis of religion, he will be booked under IPC, that is Indian Penal Code. That is the one way. What is the second way? Second way is through the government programs or schemes to help the disadvantaged community. What is the second way? Where you see there a lot of schemes are introduced. For example, Antyodaya Anna Yojana, BPL card, below poverty line card, they get lot of facilities. Adivasi, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe children get scholarship from the government. Free laptops, bicycles, lot of other schemes. So such schemes are introduced so that government is trying to implement equality in the society. There are several laws in India that protect every person's right to be treated equal. In addition to the law, the government has other programs. So government has set up several schemes to improve the lives of the community and the individual who has been treated unequal for several centuries. These schemes are to ensure greater opportunity for people who have not had this in the past. Now let us observe few pics related to midday meal. Free midday meal. The free midday meal is considered as one of the greatest successful program of government of India as well as several state governments. In the village area, there were several children used to die because of malnourishment. They were not able to get nutritious diet or food. So the government introduced a scheme called providing free midday meal, healthy meal to the children who are attending the class. So these are the few pics related to free midday meal, which is implemented across India, means implemented in all the states. So we studied now there are two types in which government try to implement equality. Can you remember which are the two types? The two types which I told you, one is through the law, second one is through the various schemes. Be with me in the class. Okay. One of the steps taken by the government include the midday meal scheme, This refers to program introduced in all the government elementary schools to provide children with cooked lunch. Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to introduce this scheme, and in 2001 Supreme Court asked all the governments to begin this program in their schools within 6 months. This program has had many positive effects. This include the fact that many poor children have begun enrolling regularly attending schools. Teachers reported that the earlier children would often go home for lunch and then not return to the school. But now, with the midday meal being provided in the school, their attendance has improved. Their mothers, who earlier had to interrupt their work to feed their children at home during the day, now no longer need to do so. This program has also helped to reduce caste prejudice because both upper caste and low caste children in the school eat this meal together, and in quite few places Dalit Dalit women Dalit women have been employed to cook the meal. Midday meal program also helps to reduce the hunger of poor students who often come to school and cannot concentrate because of their stomachs are empty. While government programs play an important role in increasing equality of opportunity, there is much that still needs to be done. While midday meal program has helped to increase the enrollment and attendance of poor children in school, there continue to be a big difference in our country between schools that rich attend those and poor and that's of poor. Even today there are several schools like in the country in which Dalit children like Om Prakash Valmiki are discriminated against and treated unequal. These children are forced into unequal situations in which their dignity is not respected. This is because people refuse to think them as equal even though the law requires it. So, even though there are laws to treat everyone equal, but it is our mindset we have to change. So, what is one of the greatest program introduced in India? That is free midday meal. So, what is the benefit of free midday meal? That school enrollment is increased. That means dropout is decreased sharply. Children started enrolling in the school, means they started regularly attending to the school. At least the problem of malnourishment is addressed in some extent. One of the main reason for that is the attitude change very slowly. Even though persons are aware that discrimination against the law is against the law, they continue to treat people unequal on the basis of their caste, religion, disability, economic status, and because they are women. It is only when people begin to believe that no one is inferior and that every person deserves to be treated with dignity, that present attitude can change. Establishing equality in a democratic society is a continuous struggle and one in which individuals as well as various communities in India contribute to, and you will read more about this in this book. So just by passing law, don't think that problem will solve. If you are treating your classmates, your friends as equal to you, or without considering that they are rich, poor, fair, black, or belongs to lower caste, upper caste, irrespective of that, if you have a mindset to give equal importance to each and every person, then naturally you are the most useful citizen of this great country. If you and me started thinking that he is upper caste, he is lower caste, he is poor, he is not good looking, that means when we are not changing our attitude and mindset, no government laws can help to improve the status of the country. So please try to understand, implementation of law is the responsibility of the government. Introduction of law is a responsibility of the government. But unless and until the change is in our thinking and mindset, nothing will change. Take care. I'll meet you in the next class with left out topics of this chapter. We'll study about Rosa Parks incident and all this in the next chapter, next video lesson. Take care. Wish you a wonderful day.